Geography, information about continents, countries, oceans, and major landmarks. History, a look at significant events and historical figures from around the world. Culture, insights into different cultures, languages, traditions, and practices. Economy, information about global economies, major industries, and international trade. Science and technology, breakthroughs in science, inventions, and technological advancements around the world. Current events, updates on recent news and developments happening globally. Please let me know which topic you're most interested in. You said, to History Chat GPT said, history is a vast field, but here's an overview of some major historical events and periods that have shaped the world. 1. Ancient civilizations. Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization, ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, saw the rise of the first cities, writing systems, cuneiform, and early law codes, like Hammurabi's Code. Egypt. Ancient Egypt was known for its pyramids, mummification, and a highly developed society along the Nile River. The Egyptians made significant advancements in medicine, mathematics, and astronomy. Indus Valley Civilization, one of the earliest urban societies, located in present-day Pakistan and northwest India. Known for their advanced urban planning and trade. China. Ancient China was the birthplace of many inventions such as paper, gunpowder, and the compass, with dynasties like the Qin and Han shaping its history. Greece and Rome. Ancient Greece laid the foundation for democracy, philosophy, and science. The Roman Empire became one of the largest empires in history, influencing law, government, and engineering. 2. Middle Ages, 15th century. After the fall of the Roman Empire, Europe entered the Middle Ages, marked by feudalism, the rise of the Catholic Church, and the spread of Christianity. The Byzantine Empire preserved much of Roman knowledge, while the Islamic Golden Age brought innovations in science, mathematics, and medicine. The Crusades, 1095–1291, were religious wars between Christians and Muslims for control of Jerusalem. The Black Death, 14th century, devastated Europe, killing millions and changing the course of history. 3. Renaissance and Enlightenment, 15th–18th century. The Renaissance saw a cultural revival of art, science, and literature in Europe. It brought forth figures like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Galileo. The Enlightenment, 17th–18th centuries, emphasized reason, individualism, and the rights of people, influencing democratic revolutions and the development of modern science. Key events like the Protestant Reformation, Martin Luther, challenged the Catholic Church and led to the formation of Protestant sects. 4. Industrial Revolution, 18th–19th century. Beginning in Britain, the Industrial Revolution brought technological advancements in manufacturing, transportation, like the steam engine, and communication, such as the telegraph. It transformed societies, leading to urbanization and the growth of industrial economies. The French Revolution, 1789, and the American Revolution, 1776, both inspired ideas of liberty, equality, and democracy. 5. World Wars, 20th century. World War I, 1914–1918, a global conflict mainly between European powers, resulting in massive casualties and changes to national borders. World War II, 1939–1945, the deadliest conflict in human history, involving most of the world's nations, including the US, the Soviet Union, and Nazi Germany. The war led to the creation of the United Nations and the start of the Cold War. 6. Cold War in modern history, 20th century present. After World War II, the Cold War, 1947–1991, between the US and the Soviet Union shaped global politics, leading to conflicts such as the Korean War and the Vietnam War. The Civil Rights Movement in the U.S. 1950s and 1960s, fought for racial equality. The fall of the Berlin Wall, 1989, marked the end of the Cold War, and the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. Globalization. From the late 20th century, the world became more interconnected through trade, the Internet, and international organizations. Key themes in world history: empires, the rise and fall of powerful empires such as the British Empire, Ottoman Empire, and the Mongol Empire. Revolutions, political and social revolutions, including the French and Russian revolutions, which reshaped countries. Colonialism, European powers colonizing large parts of Africa, Asia, and the Americas, impacting indigenous populations and leading to independence movements. Global conflicts, wars, both world wars and regional conflicts, that have shaped national borders and global relations. Technological advancements, innovations like the printing press, electricity, and the Internet, which have changed societies and economies. History is an endless source of learning, and these key events represent just a few of the milestones that have shaped our modern world. If you'd like more details on any specific period or event, let me know. Certainly. Let's dive deeper into more specific historical periods and events that have significantly shaped the world. 7. Age of Exploration, 15th–17th century. During the Age of Exploration, European powers sought new trade routes, discovering new lands and establishing colonies. This period marked the start of European imperialism. Christopher Columbus, 1492, reached the Americas, leading to the European colonization of the New World. Vasco da Gama found a sea route to India, establishing Portuguese influence in Asia. The Spanish Empire and Portuguese Empire became dominant global powers, with significant influence in the Americas, Africa, and Asia. The Columbian Exchange, the exchange of goods, ideas, and diseases between the Old and New Worlds significantly changed the global landscape. 8. The Scientific Revolution, 16th–18th century. The Scientific Revolution marked a dramatic shift in how humans understood the natural world. It laid the foundation for modern science. Key figures included Nicolaus Copernicus, heliocentric theory, Galileo Galilei, telescope and physics, and Isaac Newton, laws of motion and gravity. These advancements led to the development of modern physics, astronomy, and biology. 9. The Atlantic Slave Trade, 16th–19th century. The Atlantic slave trade forcibly brought millions of Africans to the Americas as slaves, shaping the economies and societies of the New World. It was a horrific system that lasted for centuries, with profound impacts on African societies and cultures, as well as on the development of the Americas. Abolition movements in the 19th century led to the end of slavery in many countries, including the U.S. Civil War, 1861–1865, which ended slavery in the United States. 10. The French Revolution, 1789–1799. The French Revolution was a significant turning point in world history, inspired by ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The revolution led to the overthrow of the monarchy and the establishment of the First French Republic. It inspired revolutionary movements across Europe and the Americas, and ideas from the revolution contributed to the development of modern political thought. The Reign of Terror, led by Maximilien Robespierre, was a period marked by mass executions, followed by the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, who became Emperor of France. 11. The Industrial Revolution, late 18th–19th century. The Industrial Revolution began in Britain in the late 18th century, transforming economies from agrarian to industrialized. Key inventions such as the steam engine, by James Watt, and the spinning jenny revolutionized manufacturing. This period saw the rise of factories, urbanization, and major advancements in transportation, trains, steamships. The Second Industrial Revolution in the late 19th century brought innovations like electricity, steel production, and the internal combustion engine. 12. World War I, 1914–1918. World War I, also called the Great War, involved most of Europe, along with countries like the United States and Japan. It was primarily fought between the Allied powers, France, the United Kingdom, Russia, and later the US, and the Central Powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Ottoman Empire. The war was triggered by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary and escalated due to alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. The war led to devastating loss of life and reshaped the map of Europe. The Treaty of Versailles officially ended the war but set the stage for World War II due to the harsh conditions imposed on Germany. 13. The rise of totalitarian regimes, 1920s and 1940s. In the aftermath of World War I, the world saw the rise of totalitarian regimes. Adolf Hitler's rise in Germany led to the establishment of the Nazi Party and the beginning of World War II. Joseph Stalin ruled the Soviet Union, implementing policies like collectivization and purges that caused widespread suffering. In Italy, Benito Mussolini established a fascist state, and Imperial Japan became increasingly militaristic, leading to expansion in Asia. 14. World War II, 1939–1945. World War II was the deadliest conflict in history, involving over 100 million people from more than 30 countries. The war was primarily fought between the Axis powers, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the Allied powers, US, UK, Soviet Union, France, China. Major events include the Holocaust, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the Battle of Stalingrad. The war led to the defeat of the Axis and the division of Europe into Western and Eastern blocs, setting the stage for the Cold War. The war also saw the rise of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers. 15. Cold War, 1947–1991. After World War II, the US and the Soviet Union emerged as global superpowers, leading to the Cold War. This period was characterized by ideological conflict between capitalism, led by the US, and communism, led by the Soviet Union. Key events during the Cold War included the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Berlin Wall, and the space race. The Cold War ended with the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, marking the victory of capitalism and democracy. 16. Post-Cold War era, 1991–present. After the end of the Cold War, the world entered a period of relative peace, but new challenges arose. Globalization led to interconnected economies, with the rise of multinational corporations and the spread of technology. The War on Terror began after the September 11 attacks, 2001, in the U.S., leading to the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. The rise of China as a global power has led to new geopolitical tensions. Technological advancements like the Internet, social media, and artificial intelligence have drastically changed societies. Issues like climate change, income inequality, and global health crises, like COVID-19, continue to shape modern history. Key global trends: decolonization. After World War II, many colonies in Africa, Asia, and the Caribbean gained independence from European powers. Human rights movements for gender equality, racial equality, for example, civil rights movement in the U.S., LGBTQ rights, and indigenous rights gained momentum. Digital revolution. The Internet and mobile technology have transformed communication, business, and entertainment,